We are watching developments at the University of Toronto as the school is now seeking a court injunction to try and force an end to a weeks-long encampment by pro-Palestinian protesters. Tyler Cheese is at the St. George campus following developments for us. And Tyler, the deadline for students to leave the campus has now passed.
Yeah, Dwight. So the deadline given to students as part of a trespass order issued by the university on Friday, that passed at 8 a.m. this morning. But just as it passed, a huge group of people came out here to show their support for the students. As you can see behind me, the rally is still ongoing. And when it comes to the students, they say they're not going anywhere. Now, one of the encampment leaders, Erin Mackey, she addressed the crowd a little while ago. Here's a little bit of what she had to say.
So I ask why? Why has President Gertler refused to meet with his own students? What is he afraid of? It cannot be because he cannot find us, for we have been here every day for the past 25 days. I can only guess that it is because he is ashamed to look Palestinian students in the eye and tell them that he does not care about their families, that he does not care about our demands, that he does not care about divestment, that he does not care about killing their families. In a CBC radio interview, President Gertler stated, and I quote, "Negotiations are ongoing." And so here we are, as students, faculty, and staff, and members of the U of T community, steadfast in our demands, steadfast in our demand for divestment, having received a trespassing notice, having been threatened by this institution with academic repercussions, including suspension and expulsion, having threatened faculty members with termination. Shame. Knowing that as I speak to you this morning, U of T is in court seeking an injunction and has hired a notorious employment law firm to defend its claims. Shame. All in an effort to allow Toronto police to come in and raid this encampment.
The university is now seeking an injunction order from the Ontario Supreme Court. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the university posted an update on its website just this morning indicating that its lawyers have now served the required documents to the Superior Court. It's also asked for that case to be expedited. So now it's on the lawyers to demonstrate there's an ongoing safety and security risk in order to convince the Superior Court to issue that order. But representatives for the encampment say they will also have legal help at court to help them fight the order. And as you can see, the encampment has a lot of support today, including from a number of labor unions that have come down here in the rain. The president of the Ontario Federation of Labor also spoke to the crowd earlier today.
When we heard on Friday that the senior administration of the University of Toronto had issued an ultimatum, we recognized it for what it was: an attempt to threaten and to bully you, to force you to back down in the same way that employers and governments do to workers at the bargaining table and on the picket lines. We saw it as an attempt to sidestep good faith negotiations and to wield institutional power to avoid accountability. And we completely reject that. If the University of Toronto makes a move against the students, they'll have to go through the workers first. But don't take my word for it. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want each of you to look around and see that there are unions from here, workers from unions across the province. We've got Steel, we've got UFCW, we've got OPSU, we've got ETBO, we've got CUPE, we've got CFS. And each of those people represents thousands more that weren't going to be able to be here today. It is deep. The power of workers is deep. There are more of us than there are of them, and we will not let them forget it.
So over the weekend, the OFL issued an open letter to the university's president condemning the trespass order. Now, we've heard today that students will have a meeting with administration later on today at 5 p.m. So, Dwight, we'll have to wait until then to see what happens next.
Tyler Cheese at the U of T St. George campus covering the encampment for us. Thanks, Tyler.